What's up, fight fans? Thank you, as always, for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. All right, so I was just having a discussion with someone, and I'm always open to do a video about it. Talking about David Price, and basically, it was a long story, but the person wants to put a bit of money on Pricey, right? Because the odds are just quite scary. And he asked me about my opinion. He's not necessarily a boxing fan. He knows a bit about boxing, but he's more a better, right? He's more a better, and he's asked me, is it worth lumping a bit on David Price to cause the upset against Alexander Povetkin? My words to him was absolutely not. In fact, I think I said absolutely fucking not. But then, you know, I put a video out about 2 months ago saying this fight shouldn't even be allowed. And a lot of people in the video, I think, said something like, whoa, David Price has got a puncher's chance. You never know. Povetkin's off the PEDs. Let's see. Honestly to God, I don't think Price has a shot in hell at beating Alexander Povetkin. Like, no chance. I actually don't think... And I likened it, and this is not me being critical. You guys know I'm extremely honest on this channel. I likened it to a Premier League team facing... Should I say League 2? I'd even go lower than League 2. I think David Price could be lower than that. I think David Price is outside the top 50. So I'd say, no, okay, let's say League 2. So the shock can happen, FA Cup, it does happen, but it's very, very rare, right? I think that's fair to say. Alexander Povetkin has only lost to Vladimir Klitschko. Alexander Povetkin's Olympic gold medalist. He is, I think it's fair to say, an elite boxer. Do I like him personally? Absolutely not, because I know he's a drug cheat. And I don't know, almost like Luis Ortiz, I don't know how good he is off the drugs. On the drugs, he's very good, right? I think it's fair to say, on the drugs, he's very good. And, I mean, you look at his record. I mean, even when you go way back, I mean, this guy fought the likes of Chris Bird in 2007, beat him. People like Eddie Chambers, Larry Donald, those kind of fights to get the experience. Obviously, had the Klitschko fight, then smashed Manuel Charr, smashed Takam, smashed Perez, smashed Vac, smashed Dupas, and then got popped. I think it's fair to say then got popped. So I'm not quite sure where he is. But even off the juice, I mean, he still recorded decent wins against Rudenko. Rudenko's not bad, top 30 maybe. And Christian Hamer. Now, Christian Hamer is the key for me because we saw what Christian Hamer done to David Price. He stopped him, right? Now, Povetkin against Hamer, although competitive, I think Povetkin was quite comfortable in that fight. The thing about David Price is I think that we Brits, I'm a Brit, have this thought in our head about how good David Price is, right? But when you look at the record, and sometimes that's what you just got to do, right? You're only as good as who you beat. When you look at the record, arguably the biggest win on David Price's resume is it's a toss-up between Sam Sexton, British level, and Audley Harrison at the time. That I don't know what level Audley Harrison was. European? British? That's where he is. That's his biggest win. So we have this lofty thought that somehow if he lands one, yeah, I don't think he will land one. And even if he does land one, he doesn't have this fantastic knockout power that we think he has. And honestly, and I'm not being critical, but he's knocked out who he should have knocked out. When he's went up that little level, he's been found wanting. And that's my only problem with this fight. I think it's... for Price, you've got to take the fight, right? I mean, you knock out Povetkin. I mean, boy... I mean, you're knocking out the third or fourth best heavyweight in the world. Potentially. On his resume anyway, he's the third or fourth best. So it's a massive gamble for him, but it's a gamble he has to take. My advice to my friend was, look, you can put a couple of quid on it if the odds are that stacked in Povetkin's favour, but don't expect to be going to the betting shop the day after to collect your winnings. What do you guys make of this matchup? I've done a video on it, but obviously the matchup's getting a bit closer now. Does anyone out there in boxing YouTube world really think that David Price can beat Povetkin? Even off the juice. Does anyone think that? I don't see... Honestly, I've watched, I'd say about the last 20 Povetkin fights, and I've watched a lot of David Price fights, and I just don't see how he beats him. I really don't see how he beats him. Like, I don't see anything Price has to cause Povetkin problems. I really don't see it. But you never know. This is boxing, and shocks have happened. But on this occasion, I don't expect a shock at all. At all. Let's not forget, I mean, after the Christian Hamer performance, people were asking for Price to retire. Like, his former trainer, Dave Coldwell, was intimating that he should retire. It was all over there. And then he fights Sokolowski, who's 4-11. Doesn't stop him. It goes to points. And all of a sudden, he's got Povetkin. Crazy jump. Crazy jump. In a world where boxing is so dangerous, that is a crazy jump. But you never know. Let's wish Pricey good luck. I hope he does win, because Povetkin's a cheating scum. But I don't expect him to even cause Povetkin any problems whatsoever.